Welcome back, everybody. It's once again a beautiful night to fly. It is currently 4 o'clock, and even though we stopped in the middle of Arkansas to get gas because of headwinds, it's finally time to finish that flight home and make it back to Houston. I'll see you in the sky.
All right, everybody, welcome back. I guess I should just say welcome in general for anybody who might be new here. We're going to taxi over runway 19er, and then I'll kind of fill you in on what's going on. Hero Field traffic, Cherokee 7738 November is taxiing from the self-serve fuel pumps over to runway 19er, Hero Field. We're ready to go. We're rocking and rolling. I am rejuvenated. I kind of stepped out and got some fresh air for a little bit, filled up the tanks, obviously, and we are ready to go. So I think this is going to be a good flight. Now, granted, we are going to have some pretty hefty headwinds on the way back to Houston, which is exactly why we ended up having to detour on our last video. If you haven't seen that last video, then don't worry. You can go and watch it right after this one, or you can go watch that and come right back, whatever you want to do. But I am glad that you are here. All right, so we do have a little bit of wind, but it shouldn't be too shabby. It was really pretty bumpy coming up over the trees, so I'm anticipating that on takeoff. We are going to depart VFR because there's nothing going around over here. And then as soon as we can pick up our IFR clearance, then we will probably just get direct Sugar Land, which will be perfect. All right, so we're going to taxi down here and knock out our checklist, and then it's going to be time to go. If you didn't know, I get this question a lot, and I always forget to answer it. I do not steer with my control yoke while I'm on the ground. I'm actually steering with my feet. They are called rudder pedals, and the tops of them are my brakes. All right, we're officially holding short of runway 19er. They don't have a designated run-up area, but there's also no one here, so that's totally fine. We're going to sit in the shade just for a second. Let's knock it out. Seatbelts are fastened, flaps are up, heater and defrost are both turned off for the moment. Avionics master switch on, all gauges are illuminated, currently squawking 1200, and frequency 128.2 is the last approach frequency we were on, so we should be able to pick up that clearance all over again. No big deal. Altimeter 3032, we'll take a listen and make sure that hasn't updated again.
More than 10. Sky condition, clear, below 2000. Temperature, 15 Celsius. Dew point, -3 Celsius. Altimeter, 3032 inches
Good.
of mercury.
And it is the exact same weather broadcast that we had earlier, so that's perfect. All right, altimeter is set both on the primary and the backup. We can change just a tad there, a little bit too much. Perfect. Here we go. Brakes are set, fuel proper tank 25 and 25. I just topped them off. I just sumped the fuel. We're all good there. And we are starting on our left tank. Nice. Push and pull that control yoke. Tail is coming up and tail is going down and trim is neutral. Left turn, left aileron is up and the right aileron is down. Right turn, right aileron is up and the left aileron is down. Rudders and brakes were working perfectly during taxi, so flight controls are free and correct. Instruments, we have blue over brown. Someone's trying to broadcast on this frequency, but they're not doing a very good job. I'm just kidding. They might just be farther, higher up, or farther away. Okay, so blue over brown, wings are level, and that ball is centered here. Airspeed indicator reads 0, not showing a climb or descent, and within 75 feet of field elevation. HSI aligns with magnetic compass within 10 degrees, and there are no bubbles, cracks, or leaks. Backup airspeed reads 0, backup turn and slip coordinator, wings are level, ball is centered. Backup altimeter also within 75 feet, and backup vertical speed indicator not indicating a climb or descent. All gauges in the green and looking good. Perfect. Mixture best power, primer in and locked, RPMs 2000. Hold those toe brakes, throttle forward, perfect. Right magneto check, small drop, no big red X's, engine instruments look fantastic. Back to both here, back to 2000. Lost my voice temporarily, sorry about that. And that left magneto now looks just as good. Back to both once again. Carb heat on. Lost about 50 RPM there, that works for me. Carb heat off. Back up to 2000. And power to idle to ensure the airplane continues to run within a safe RPM range. Perfect. Right back up to 1000. That completes our run-up checklist. Now we do our pre-takeoff and then hit the sky. Flaps are 0, electric fuel pump on, mixture best power, carb heat off, pitot heats off. HSI still aligns with magnetic compass within 10 degrees. Doors latched. I'll close my window here in just a second. Transponder is still 1200, landing light on, and the time is currently 4:17 p.m. Excellent. Not seeing any traffic coming in, not hearing any radio calls of any traffic coming in, so we should be good there. And the only traffic that I actually see on here at all that's even remotely close to our altitude is still 2,600 feet above us, so we should be good. We'll just be on the lookout for him on climb out. Here we go. Sugarland. Flight plan. Sierra. Golf. And Romeo. Perfect. Direct enter, enter. And the only airspace I really need to be concerned about for right now is actually a MOA, and we're gonna steer clear of that too, so should be no factor there either. Perfect. Let's do this thing. Harrell Field traffic, Cherokee 7738 November is taking runway 19er for a straight out departure, Harrell Field. We filed for 6,000 feet. There we go. Finals clear. Nobody and nothing is on the runway. Out in the middle of nowhere, you have to make sure there's no wildlife or anything crazy on the runway. Looks good to me. Here we go. I'm gonna rotate it about 65. Here we go. Gonna be bumpy up until about 4,000 feet, but we're ready for it. Still 2,400 feet above us now, looks like, so that's good. No obstacles or anything to be concerned about. Great. Harrell Field traffic, Cherokee 773 November, just departed runway 19er, switching to departure frequency, final call, Harrell County. Good afternoon, approach Cherokee 7738 November, just departed Harrell Field. Would like to pick up IFR 2 Sierra Golf Romeo, please.
Wrong frequency.
My apologies, I guess I didn't hit the right button, thank you.
No problem.
As you can see, I actually did hit the correct button, but because it was so bumpy, I didn't hit it hard enough, so no worries.
There we go, 128.2. Good afternoon, approach Cherokee 7738 November, just departed Harrell Field. Like to pick up IFR 2 Sierra Golf Romeo, please.
November, forward center, reset transponder clock 2241.
2241, 7738 November. Okay. All gauges remaining in the green, still heading 190 for now. Not really seeing much out here, which is good. Nice of that guy to let me know I was on the wrong frequency. Awkward.
November 7738 November, radar contact 3 miles south of Camden Airport, altitude.
Currently climbing through 2,100 for 7738 November.
November 3, November, clear to Sugar Land Airport via S5, climbing maintain 6,000. Delta radar altimeter 3033.
3033, climb maintain 6,000, direct Sugar Land, 7738 November, thank you. Sweet! Love when that happens. Autopilot on, nav mode active, and continue that climb at about 115 or so. Should do us nicely. And we're officially back on that IFR flight plan, but still keeping an eye out on traffic, just in case. Direct. Direct. There we go. Woo! That sun is brutal. Holy moly. Hopefully it's making me look good, though. Alright. So currently climbing up at 117 miles per hour. We're about to go through 3,000. We filed for 6,000 feet for this leg. That is the best wind, so fingers crossed they are still that good. Temperature is already starting to drop, so gonna go turn that heater on. All gauges are in the green. We've got full tanks, which means we have 5 hours worth of fuel on board. And I'm definitely glad that we made the decision to divert and just get gas, because after I did my weather brief before leaving Camden, aka Harrell Field, where we just left, the headwinds were supposed to get even worse. So we made the right call. Round of applause for us. Woohoo! Awesome. I didn't even get a chance to go and check out the FBO. Maybe next time. CHT right now is at 396 degrees, 395 degrees. That's not us. We're currently burning 15 gallons per hour, but we will continue to lean that out as soon as we level off at 6,000 feet and kind of see what our CHT is doing, all of our other gauges, all that good stuff. Looks so pretty out there. Right now our time en route is 2 hours and 57 minutes. Once we level off at 6,000, we'll see what that's looking like. Hopefully it goes down at least a little bit, but we'll see. We're down to 36 degrees now. Woohoo. This is gonna be cold. I came prepared though. I'm wearing a sweatshirt this time. Gonna go buy a parka to keep in the airplane. I laugh, but only because I'm not kidding. Alright, so in a second you are going to hear a very loud beeping sound. That is not my stall horn. That is indicating that we are 1,000 feet away from our selected altitude, so right about now. My timing is awful on that. So yes, that beeping sound indicates that we are 1,000 feet away from our selected altitude, which in this case, we just went through 5,000. We're climbing up to 6,000. You're also going to hear it when we climb through 5,800, because it will do it when we are 200 feet away from our selected altitude as well. So, cool. Beautiful day to fly overall, just cold, but not too shabby. I told my mom, I was like, yeah, when you pick me up, I'm going to stop and get food. She's like, oh, really? You didn't bring snack bars? So I'm like, you can't live off snack bars, woman. You got to actually eat sustenance. So, I will be eating my Doritos here shortly. Looking forward to it, actually. All right, almost there. We're at 5,500 now. And our time is slowly dropping. We're now at 2 hours 46 minutes, so that's not too bad. If I'm not mistaken, so bright. The sun sets in an hour, so we actually will probably get back to Sugarland just as it's officially starting to get dark. So might get to see all of the pretty runway lights and stuff. That'd be nice. There's the 200 feet. But that was one of the things I was most excited about when I became a pilot, when I was going through my training, was when I got to do night flying. And I don't do it very often, simply because I don't really have the need to, but it is really fun, and it's beautiful to look out the window and just see all of the city lights, or if you're flying over the desert, to see nothing. That's kind of a trip, though. That's a little trippy, for sure. All right, we made it. We are leveling off at 6,000 feet. Our cylinder head temperature is looking really good. It's at 368. And it looks like it's going to be a bumpy flight back home. So I'm going to bring some of that power back to about 2550 or so we can lean out our mixture. We were burning 14 gallons per hour. So let's see if we can get it down to 10 and a half. There's 10, but there's a little engine roughness, so we'll enrich in that slightly here. That sounds much better. And that puts us at about 10.4, 10.5, so I'm good with that. Now that's going to come up as we add in a little bit more power in our throttle for our RPMs, but if we can keep it right around 11 or so, that'll be good. Why is it bumpy at 6,000 feet? That's so disrespectful. We're gonna bring those RPMs right back down to 2,600. Maybe 2,550. It was not bumpy at all on the way to Harrow Field at 6,000 feet. Hours, 15 minutes to our destination, so it's not the worst thing ever.
I know you're probably thinking you're watching the video and it doesn't really look that bumpy, so why do I keep talking about it? My cameras have fantastic stabilization, so it's really hard to tell just how much we're rocking and rolling.
Although our time is going up. Now we're at 2 hours and 17 minutes. But that does make sense because we pulled the power back by a good amount. I had it at 2650 and now we're down to 2540. Just because with the rough air, my maneuvering speed in this airplane is 129 miles per hour. So when we're bumping around like crazy, we don't want to be faster than 129. Right now we're at about 129, 130. It looks like it might have smoothed out. We have to talk quietly so I don't jinx us. But if that's the case, then we can speed up. We'll find out here. We'll give it about 30 more seconds and just see. Well, I'm not a fan of this. Approach Cherokee 7738 November with request.
November 38, November, say request.
Like to climb and maintain 8,000 now for 7738 November.
November 38, November, say the altitude request.
Sorry, could you repeat that for 7738 November?
Say your altitude request.
8,000 feet for 7738 November.
November 38, November, climb, maintain 8,000.
Climb, maintain 8,000, 7738 November. Thank you. Alright, we'll see if that's any better. If these winds are brutal, we're going to deal with the bumps and come right back down. So mixture full rich here while we do this climb. Ooh, it's going to get cold. We're at 30 degrees at 6,000 feet. I'm going to say we're probably going to be at about 26 or 27 at 8. We'll see. Alright, gotta climb a little faster. Always try to keep 500 foot per minute climb and descent, especially when I'm on an instrument flight plan, like we're supposed to. So we might have to climb. Let's try 110, see if that's any better. Yep, that might get us there. Okay, so there is our 500, and there's more than 500. So I guess we caught up finally. And those bumps have all but disappeared so far. So I think we made the right call. Nice. All right, I jinxed us. To help our climb, I'm going to lean this out just a little bit. Not too much. We'll do a full lean out when we get to 8,000 feet. That definitely helped. So remember what I said, when we get to 1,000 feet away from our selected altitude, we're going to hear that loud beeping sound, and then we will also hear it when we get to 200 feet away from our selected altitude. I'm just reminding you so nobody thinks I'm stalling the airplane on climb out. Let's see if we can climb at 105. Alright, so we have 1,000 feet to go. Almost there. I don't want to jinx us, but I think the winds might actually be better up here, which means fourth flight was wrong.
Ameristar 566, contact, report approach, 118.6.
200 feet to go. $100. $20 feet. And there is our 8,000. And it's definitely less bumpy up here now, so that's nice. Pull some of this mixture out. There's that engine roughness, slightly enriching. And 8,000. Our cruise RPM checklist says 2650, so that is what we are going to try to keep our RPMs at. Much better. Awesome. So coming up here, we now have 2 hours and 12 minutes. 2 hours and 13 minutes to our destination. We definitely have the fuel on board. All gauges are in the green. With a fully leaned out airplane, our cylinder head temperature is at 373. It's 32 degrees outside, so if I'm not mistaken, the temperature went up. But hey, you know, whatever works. And yeah, do the sailing. I think now's a good time to have a little snack. Got my Diet Pepsi and my Doritos. I packed a Lunchable, well, an adult Lunchable yesterday, and I ate most of it. But I just got some free snacks from the hotel this morning. They were so nice. Well, it's already time to switch our fuel tanks, so electric fuel pump on. Fuel pressure remains in the green. Roll that over here to our right tank. Fuel pressure still in the green. Electric fuel pump off, and fuel pressure stays in the green. Looks good. Now, I won't do that again for another hour because I like to have 5 off from each other. It helps with the stability of the airplane, especially when I'm in here by myself. Now I'm going back to my snacks.
Alright, when he comes back over, can you tell him that we hear him and just monitor this frequency or we can relay through you.
So that's pretty interesting. I've only had somebody relay to me one time, and I was actually coming into an airport. I was flying in and out of clouds. I'd been cleared through the approach, and I just couldn't hear ATC anymore, so I never got the chance to cancel or anything like that. And so I had a pilot relay that I could cancel when I got on the ground, and then they would let the ATC know if I needed anything, because they could hear me, but I could not hear them at all. And it sounds like that Mooney pilot was having the same problem. He was broadcasting, and ATC was able to hear him, but he couldn't hear ATC. So now another pilot in the area is actually going to tell him what air traffic control has been trying to say. That way he knows what to expect, and if he needs any assistance, he still has a way to get that. Pretty cool.
November 38, November contact, report approach 118.6.
118.6. Have a good night, 38 November.
Good night.
118.6. Good evening, Shreveport. Cherokee 773 in November, checking in 8,000.
Cherokee 773 November, Shreveport approach, Shreveport altimeter 3031.
3031, 773 in November, thanks. Cool. Easy peasy. And we're officially under the 2-hour marks. Oh, I jinxed it. Right when I said that, it went right back up to 2 hours. That's okay. We're still making good time. It's a nice, calm evening. Not super busy. No clouds. 33 degrees outside, so I've got that heater on. And now we're officially underneath the 2-hour mark. So 1 hour, 59 minutes, 238 nautical miles. The reason I am offset here is so that you can see my face due to the sun right now. Because if I come over here, there's going to be weird shadows. And nobody likes weird shadows, but thanks for being here. Hopefully you're enjoying the video so far. I do have to say, if there is anybody who lives near Harrell Field, Arkansas, you have to leave me a comment and let me know, because I just think that that is so crazy. Anytime I come to a really small airport in the middle of nowhere, I'm always astounded at how many of y'all leave comments and are just like, oh, I live there, or oh, I'm from there, oh, I was just there the other day. I just think that's so cool. So if you're anywhere close to Harrell Field, aka Camden, let me know. Leave it in the comments. Especially if I should go back and do some stuff, because I obviously didn't get a chance to do anything this time around. Maybe next time. I think I'm going to start planning a day buffer everywhere I go so that I do have time to actually go sightsee and check out the cities. But I put myself on such a time crunch for flying this week. I'm trying to beat the weather home to Houston. It's supposed to come in again tomorrow. So worst case scenario, I could always spend the night somewhere if I needed to, but oh well. It works. And this just told us it's time to switch tanks, so it's only off by a couple of minutes, so not too shabby. Awesome. Well, I thought we would do a quick check-in, so we have an hour and 35 minutes until we get to our destination airport. As you can probably tell, the sun is setting. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'm trying not to look into it. All of our gauges are still in the green. We have about 4 hours worth of fuel still on board, so I'm really happy that we made the right call and we stopped early rather than having to worry about it. As far as our winds are concerned, they're not near as bad as I expected. Our indicated airspeed is 131 and our ground speed is 138. Okay, who caught that? I mean, come on, I played that so well. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We have about a 7-mile-per-hour tailwind, and you know what? I'll take it all day long. Kind of nice. Didn't expect it. Kind of nice. But I thought it would be nice to kind of hang out and watch the sunset together, so hopefully you're enjoying the video. It's getting colder by the minute, though. It's down to 32 degrees, so it hasn't really gotten that much cooler actually outside, but because the sun has started to set, I don't have that warmth coming into the airplane, so my heater will be staying on until we come into land. And I think it's probably a good time to take off the sunglasses because I don't really think we're going to need them anymore. Whoop-bam. I don't take my sunglasses off very often, so I probably should have checked to see what I look like before I took my sunglasses off. I look like I've been flying for 2 days. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll let you decide. We are currently in Louisiana, too. I don't know if I ever mentioned that. So we're flying through Louisiana, and then we are about, let's see. Looks like about 15 miles away from crossing into Texas. So, not too bad at all. I've kind of been craving walking around on a beach. So I'm thinking my next long destination flight is going to be to somewhere in Florida. Don't know where, so if you have a specific recommendation in mind, you know what to do. Leave it in the comment section. But I've been to Tallahassee, I've been to Jacksonville, I've been to Tampa, I've been to, obviously Orlando, but the beach is kind of far. Vero Beach when I toured the factory tour, Sarasota. I mean, I've been to a ton of different places in Florida, and I haven't really decided which part of Florida I want to go to. It'll probably depend on the weather, because I want the hottest place I can find. But one place I have never been is Miami. And that's mainly because of how expensive it is to park the airplane and their gas prices. Oh my gosh. Crazy. Let's go see. I want to see what the most recent one is. Miami. Oh, that's not that bad. Miami Regional. Oh, that's Oklahoma. I should have known. I should have known. Alright, here we go. Miami Opelika Executive. Let's just do that one. That's what I expected to see. So, Embassaire is their feature at that airport, and 100 low lead, which is the kind of gas that we need to put in low red, is $8.80 per gallon. Doesn't get much better. In fact, Signature and Atlantic are charging over $9 per gallon. Wild. Now you can see why I don't fly to Miami. Maybe someday. That's so crazy. $9 a gallon. $9.75.
Alpha contact.
That's crazy.
132.05. Good night. Number 614 Victor Papa contact Fort Worth Center 126.32. Good night.
Alright.
Gonna maintain 2,100.
That's not the light I want to turn on just yet. No need yet. I do want to turn on the one for my gauges, though. There we go. If you could see that, see how there's a little bit of light? This makes it a little easier to see. And once that sun officially comes all the way down, I will turn on the red light in case I need to look at any of my buttons, my knobs, my checklist, all that good stuff.
November, contact forward center 126.32.
126.32, have a great night, 3 November.
You as well.
Good evening, Fort Worth approach, Cherokee 773 November, checking in 8,000.
November 773 November forward center, right. Looking altimeter 3032.
3032, 773 November, thanks. That just looks so pretty. Just a little bit of pink, a little bit of orange. Gorgeous.
At Fort Worth, envoy 3929, level 270.
Envoy 3929 forward center, roger. Descend upon discretion, maintain 13,000, London altimeter 3034.
I'm gonna keep moving around a bunch even though I'm not listening to music right now just because I'm cold. It's 31 degrees, heater is on. It works, it's fine. So, going on my list, I'm going to find some gloves that have grip that I can wear when I actually fly, and a parka, and some fuzzy socks, and who knows what else. I'm gonna get all of the warm clothing because apparently I was not prepared enough for this. That's alright. Do you have any recommendations, any companies that you think I should try out? Tag them, leave them in the comments, let me know. That'd be awesome.
2838 forward center, ready.
And we're officially in Texas. Just crossed over that body of water and let me double check. I think we are. We are. We're about to fly past Center Municipal in Montgomery, I think. Let's see. Oh no, that's Montgomery Control. Shelbyville. If you live near Shelbyville, flying over you right now. I thought it'd be kind of cool to show y'all. I do need to turn this down more. Let's do 60. 60% should be good. There we go. This one's fine, this one's fine, I'm good with that. Great. So we currently have 3.5 hours worth of fuel on board for an hour flight. That's perfect. All of our gauges are looking great. Cylinder head temperature is 371. Indicated airspeed is 129 and ground speed is 135. Still level 8,000, not a whole lot of radio calls, really not much going on. But we are getting closer to that class Bravo airspace, almost an airport. There's 2 of them. We're about, let's see here, about 55 miles away from entering that, and that's kind of where I suspect we'll get a little bit busier. But just thought I would do a quick little check-in. We can see if we can get our weather. Doubt it. Nope. We'll try again in like 50 miles.
This is most likely the coolest video I've ever filmed from my airplane. Just the fact that you can look around and see how dark it is everywhere else, but with the panel lit up and the beautiful sunset, absolutely gorgeous. I love flying at night.
We can see if we can get our weather. Doubt it. Nope. We'll try again in like 50 miles.
Thanks, sorry. November 6, Bravo Golf, 132.77, good night.
I have some fog below us, so I'm keeping an eye on that. Just because of how cold it is outside.
November 773, 8 November, multiple aircraft inbound to runway 8 left at Intercontinental. The first one that's probably going to be the closest to you is about 10 o'clock and 8 miles. Still on the downwind on a 3,700 for 3,000 is Airbus.
Roger, I'll keep an eye out. 773 November, thanks.
773 at November, contact approach 123.8. You have a great night.
123.8, you do the same, 3 November. Good evening, Houston, Cherokee 773 November, checking in 2000, heading 180.
Striker 773 November, Houston approach, good evening. Advise the automated weather for Sugar Land with your approach request in altimeter 3033.
I have the weather 3033, and I'd like to do the RNAV 17 for 7738 November, please.
Number 38 November, your transmission was partially blocked there, and I understand you want the RNAV to 17. Verify you have the automated weather and how your approach will terminate.
I do have the weather, that is correct, RNAV 17, and this will be a full stop for 7738 November.
November 38 November, thank you for that. And when able, you can proceed directly bogey for the RNAV to 17.
When able, direct bogies, RNAV 17, 7738 November, thanks. Lots of airplanes coming in and out. Flight plan, Sugarland, procedure. Approach. RNAV 17. Perfect. And currently direct bogey. That moon looks gorgeous.
If you look out the window here, you can see that bright, beautiful moon I was just talking about, and an airplane flying over us.
We're already on our approach frequency, so that looks good. Quick snapshot. Once we reach a bogey, we'll still be at 2,000 feet, which is what we're currently at, heading 170. Kasab will be the final approach fix, where we will configure to land, as long as we have the field in sight. Minimums will most likely be LNAV, but we'll verify 640 feet. If it's LPV, 400.
Heading 180, A7 Romeo.
So cool.
A7 Romeo flying on 165.
165, A7 Romeo.
Alright. Got some traffic here, 900, 1,000 feet above us in sight. Should cross behind us, so no factor there either. Perfect. There we go. Electric fuel pump on. Fuel pressure's in the green. Fuel selector over to that right tank. Fuel pressure remains in the green.
How will this approach?
Fuel pump off. Perfect.
We'd like to fly to publish United States 01 Pop Alpha.
Alright.
November contact Sugar Land Tower 118.65, we'll see.
Over to tower. Have a great night. 773 November. Good evening, Sugarland Tower. Cherokee 7738 November checking in.
Cherokee 7738 November, Sugarland Tower. Good evening. Runway 17, clear to land.
17 clear to land. 7738 November. Thank you. Okay. Kasab 2000. Runway is in sight, so that looks awesome. And we're about 50 seconds away. Then we'll start that descent, and everything will go well. Nice. There's Kasab, mixture full rich. Electric fuel pump and landing light are on. Rotating beacon on. Pitot heat, carb heat's off. Looks good there. Perfect. Hello. Bring those RPMs down to 1800. Gonna get bumpy on me now. Slow down so we can put some flaps in. Almost there. All right, first notch of flaps 10 degrees. No traffic, runway's in sight, beautiful. Now we can add in some more power. All right, both my triangles are right in the middle, so that's looking good. All gauges are in the green. We are on the fullest tank. And CHT is 295 because it's cold outside, so that looks great. Awesome. Right on that glide slope.
Wind calm.
Thank you. All right, a little low on the glide slope. And back on it. Boom. Nice. So we are in fact LPV. Minimum's 400. I said we'd call it at 5. We've got the field in sight, so as long as everything continues going as well as it's going now, good to go. Still keeping an eye out for traffic, just in case. Second notch, 25 degrees. And there's that 500, autopilot disconnect. Just fly her down.
And just like that, we made it back to Houston.